Well, still in the Middle East, but moving to the Gulf of Oman, an Iranian warship has accidentally fired an anti-ship cruise missile at another Iranian naval vessel on Monday, sinking it and killing at least one sailor. Reports coming through, though, that the Jamaran frigate accidentally fired on the support vessel during an exercise and that the death toll could in fact be much higher. Iran's fast news agency confirming the incident, saying one person was killed and several were injured. It gave no further details. So for more now on the story, our defence correspondent Daniel Tsemach is in studio. It looks and sounds like a horrible accident, but not much clarity on what really transpired. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so initially the reports that emanated from Iran, local reports even described the incident as a crash. Not the case. We're looking at what either was a misfiring, miscalculation. Indeed, one Iranian ship shooting on another Iranian ship. The Kamarak was the ship that was hit and sunk. It's a ship that was purchased by the Iranians and added to the Iranian naval fleet in 2018. So definitely, as far as the military equipment, also a very, very consequential error. From what we understand, this was indeed a live fire exercise. The IRGC conducts many exercises like this in the area of the Strait of Hormuz and the Gulf of Oman. And the Kamarak was actually bringing a target into sea, a floating target, and then leaving it at sea for the Jamaran to shoot at it. And we understand that indeed the ship was hit and not the target itself. Whether or not it was a miscalculation due to human error or a technical failure, that we don't know. Still, a lot of these details are fairly murky, but a very grave mistake in the Gulf of Oman that led to at least one fatality, to about dozens of injuries for certain. So it's possible that that number of fatalities will also rise.
Thank you so much. And watching all those developments as they happen from here, our defence correspondent Daniel Tsemach, we appreciate that update. Well, let's go now. So for the latest, let's go straight to Jerusalem now. Our Adi Koplowitz is outside Parliament. Good morning to you, Adi. Now, the country's new government is set to be sworn in on Wednesday, but now there's speculation that could be postponed by a day due to the visit by U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. What are you hearing?
Well, Manita, that's true. The inauguration will probably be postponed as Pompeo is to visit Israel this Wednesday. And there are two main pressing issues on the agenda for this visit of Pompeo, or at least speculated pressing matters. The first one of them is the possibility of an annexation. Since the Trump plan was announced, the Trump peace plan, Israel has been talking about annexation, and Benjamin Netanyahu has been promising an annexation of large parts of the West Bank, including the Jordan Valley and existing settlements all over the West Bank, to be a part of Israel. This hasn't happened yet. There's some sort of patience in Israel as the government is waiting for a full confirmation from the United States that there is a backup for this move. And now that there's finally some sort of a functioning government, the possibility of an actual annexation seems a lot more likely. For this to happen, there's a good chance that Secretary of State Pompeo will have to give some sort of an okay or discuss the ways or the exact methods that this annexation will happen, as this is a very sensitive matter, and it could both inflame the West Bank and possibly cause a violent response from the Palestinians, but also a harsh diplomatic response from Jordan, which is the leader of the opposition to an annexation from the part of Arab states. And the other pressing matter that Pompeo is very likely to discuss with Israeli officials is the basing of Iran in Syria. We've seen a rise in the mysterious attacks in Syria during the last month, over 6 different attacks, all of them without an official responsibility taker, but all are attributed to Israel, and they all seem to be part of Israel's struggle against the Iranian basing in Syria. And as this is also has to do with the struggle between the United States and Iran on Iraq. And in Iraq, there's definitely some sort of a coordination between the United States and Israel on that matter, and that also will probably be discussed between Pompeo and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. These two matters could definitely set the agenda for this new government and be the main issues that the government is dealing with. So there's a very good reason to postpone the inauguration in one day and give these discussions their respectable time and place.
Clearly a lot to discuss on Wednesday. Thank you so much. That's our Adi Koplowitz reporting live from outside Parliament. More to come from Adi in the coming hours. Well,